Hey everyone, it's Nicole, and I am so sorry for being a little late here. I was having some trouble starting the live, but I'm excited to be here, and we are talking about how to overcome procrastination and grow a bigger business. And if you're watching the replay, say hey, drop a comment. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to hear what the number one area is that you procrastinate in. Is it work chores? Is it admin tasks? Is it sales calls? Is it marketing? Is it networking? Like, what is that one specific area that you tend to procrastinate the most, right? And we're gonna actually talk about the steps to take to stop wasting time through procrastination and start earning more income. Because here's the deal, you guys. Procrastination is a self-sabotage, right? And I want to talk a little bit, just a tiny bit about that before we get into the good stuff. But the reality is that procrastination keeps you safe, right? It allows you to stay comfortable. It allows you to not grow further. It allows you to be in your comfort zone. And these are all areas that we want to avoid, right? We want to avoid growth because it's hard and scary. We want to avoid potential rejection by putting ourselves out there more. So we start to procrastinate. And I think the other reason that I really want to address this happens a lot because I think as entrepreneurs, we're really hard on ourselves. We also tend to procrastinate because we are not confident in working for ourselves. We don't know how to work for ourselves, right? If you're like me, you worked for an employer when you first started, or you were in school or grad school or whatever, and you had deadlines and you had people to report to, and you didn't want anybody to get mad at you, and you had people depending on you. So you got your shit done, right? And you also had a support team built in to make it happen. We don't have that in our own businesses, right? And that's why procrastination really can creep in quite quietly. It could feel like it's not procrastination, like it really is a real reason not to do something, but that's not true. Sorry, the lighting here is so bad today. It is really bright out. So just make the best of it. So once again, say hey if you're on, drop a comment below, and let's talk about the first way to stop procrastination. The first way to stop procrastination is to, I just got really aggravated because it said it wasn't streaming, but I think we're good. The first way to stop procrastination is to actually cut down on the number of decisions you have to make. If you're a member of my community for a while, you know I talk a lot about decision fatigue. And the truth is that we have a lot of decisions to make as business owners. And, you know, and in our families and in our personal lives, and or if you're like me, if you're single, you have to make every single decision about when to clean, what to cook, what to shop for, everything, right? So we have a lot of decisions to make, and it's very easy to overthink them, overanalyze them, overprocess them. So here's the deal. Decisions don't allow us to move forward. Decisions don't allow us to take action until we make the decision. So if you're staying in overthinking mode, if you have too many decisions to make, if they're taking you too long, you will be procrastinating. Like, just for example, if you have a massive to-do list and you can't decide what to work on, you're not going to work on anything, right? So here's the deal. Step one, make your decisions quicker. Notice when you're overthinking. Set a timer, set a deadline, right? Don't overthink it. Don't feel the need to talk about them with 10 people. Just make your decisions quicker the best you can, especially the ones that are not like anybody's life is depending on it, right? What are you having for dinner? What are you having for lunch? What time is your lunch? Bake those things into your schedule. Like, I get very like food indecisive. Like, what should I have for dinner? I need to have something exciting and special every day. Or what should I have for lunch? Don't do that. Like, have it pre-planned, right? That's the other thing, you guys. In order to cut back on decisions, stop multitasking, right? Because if you're multitasking, you're doing too many things at one time. And once again, you can't make decisions like, should I send this email? Who should I write back first? Oh, but let me hop over here and check my social media. Or let me hop over here and let me work on this blog I'm writing. Or let me hop over here and let me do some outreach, right? Or let me get back to my client work. Now, you're gonna be all over the place. You're not gonna be making any decisions. You're not gonna be effective. You're not going to be productive. So stop the multitasking if you want to be a better decision maker in order to overcome procrastination. Now, the other piece of that is repeat things and remove things. one of the best ways to cut back on too many decisions and cut down on them is repeating things, being repetitive, right? Have lunch at the same time every day. Do your emails at the same times as much as you can every day. Follow the same patterns and remove things that aren't actually working. If you want to make less decisions, do less things, right? So what isn't working for your business right now? What isn't getting you where you need to be? Remove those things. Okay. The next one is something that I am just kind of working on being better at. Like I said, you guys, I am a master procrastinator, which means either A, I'm a really good person to be talking about this with you, or B, I could be the worst person because I could have procrastinated on this topic or on this live or dealing with this, right? So here's the deal. Pre-plan on Sundays, this is just an area that I'm not going to claim that I've been good at, right? Like I have been a little bit good at it in terms of I'm really big on a goal and action plan. What's my goal for the month? What's the 3 actions I'm taking that week to make that happen? But now you want to take it beyond that, right? You want to be having your schedule planned out for the week. I've been talking with my clients, with my audience, if you've done any of my free challenges, about master schedule for months. If you've ever done my Reset and Refresh Business Detox course, master schedule is huge. It's so popular in there. But basically, you want to know on Sunday, this is what I'm doing now. I started using Trello for this. This is something that my clients get so much results with when they start planning out their week in advance, when they know what actions they're taking for their business goals, and when they can go beyond that, not just take the actions for the business goals, but once again, know exactly where those things are scheduled for in their week. So I'm using Trello for this. My amazing project manager, Jamie, created me this special Trello board. Now I've been tweaking it to work a little better for me and be even better. So don't think that this is going to be like an overnight thing. Give yourself time to adjust to changes, right? Who here sucks at making changes, is bad at transitions? That is me. If that's you too, I want to hear from you. So I know some of these things may seem intimidating, and I feel intimidated by myself, but I also know that if I want that bigger business, right? If I want to be on the path for $1 million, I have to be more effective. Can't procrastinate. I have to be better with my time. And that means really knowing my week for the schedule ahead. So now on Sundays, I am filling in my Trello board for the week. I'm pre-planning like where I'm showing up for things. I have my client sessions scheduled out. I'm looking at my priority tasks for the things that need to be done. I'm looking at my priority connections. And that's what I'm doing on Sundays. Now I use Trello for this. You can use a handwritten calendar. You could use Google Calendar. Be specific. Put the exact things in that you need to do. You can even schedule out the times for all your work sessions. Checking email here, right? That kind of stuff. Try to be repetitive. Like I said from the last tip, what can you do weekly? The same times every week, right? I have certain appointments every week at the same times. I have my clients able to book in at the same times every week. All of that makes it easier. And once again, I'm saying my clients get good results from this. They feel so much better and on top of things. When I have clients who give me their plans for the week on Tuesday, they've already lost a day or two of feeling disorganized, not knowing what to work on, right? Not getting the right things done. Okay, the other thing that I want to talk about is creating new habits. We were just talking about my calendar system, right? And how I'm upgrading my planning. Give yourself the space to create new habits. I know this is something I'm really hard on myself about, but like I told you, I'm bad at change and transition, yet at the same time, I have the expectation that I'm gonna adapt to something overnight. And that's not true. So like this calendar, the schedule thing, this Trello thing that I'm doing for the weekly schedule, I started out simpler. I had just a few things in it. Even before that, I started out with Trello with just a couple lists. Then I started upgrading. Then I started getting more organized, right? And now I am able to have better habits. I'm able to be more consistent. So what is your style for creating habits? Are you someone who can adapt overnight? Or are you someone like me who it's going to take time to change, and you need to remind yourself of that so you're not hard on yourself or telling yourself you're not doing the job right? So I think that's really important. And also when you're creating new habits, remove distractions, right? get into your space, do your stuff. Don't be letting people distract you. Have your time carved out for it. Don't think like, once again, you can create new habits while you're multitasking. You have to be really, really on top of things, right? And stay mindful and present. Get out of your head. This is like when I used to do stress management stuff. Don't be like in your head too much. Get grounded, get present. As you're creating these new habits, really soak in how you're feeling. How does it feel to get your planning done on Sundays? That's what motivates me, you guys, is the feelings it is when I actually do these things. Instead of just kind of skipping to the next thing, what's next on the list, take a moment and say, God, how do I feel now that I'm planned out? It's Sunday night. I can see my whole week. Usually I feel pretty darn good. And then one more last thing, you guys, right? I want to cover advice from Oprah, right? Which I really do feel like has to deal with overcoming procrastination. A lot of times business owners procrastinate because they're working on too many things at the same time. And here's the deal. Yesterday I was watching this interview with Oprah. It was with this little kid reporter, Jaden Reports. He's adorable. And he's very talented. He's like 11 and he got to friggin' interview Oprah. I also saw him interview Brad Pitt. And he asked Oprah, like, what is the one thing you would do differently? Like, what would you change, basically? And she said, I would not have launched my my own network the same year that I was finishing my TV show. I would have finished the TV show and then I would have launched the network. And the reason that I think that has to do with procrastination is because when you're working on too many big projects at one time, this is where you can't make decisions, you can't pre-plan, you can't create new habits, you can't give things the focus, and it's easy to not give 100% and not get results, right? So I think it's really important to remember, especially for you guys, if you're in my audience, it's because you have an interest in multiple income streams. So if that is the case, then make sure that you really think about these things and think about, am I working on too much at one time? That's why I say one goal every week and specific actions for that goal. And you will see results a lot quicker. Pre-plan this, right? She didn't plan it well. She did big things at one time and she still regrets it years later. So I am happy to help you guys with these things. Feel free to book a free breakthrough session, and NicoleLeloy.com/consult will identify one thing that you've been procrastinating that is sabotaging your income growth, that's preventing you from hitting that 6 figures or multiple 6 figures, that 250K per year. We're going to figure it out. Where are you sabotaging through procrastination? And we're going to give you some solutions to get out of it. I'm going to help you create those and help you figure out how to put them into place. This is a free consult. Go to NicoleLeloy.com/consult to make it happen, or click the link above, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.